The airport was unusually tense that morning, but no one felt it more deeply than Marcus Reed, a black CEO who moved through the terminal with quiet confidence. He had traveled the world, led global teams, and faced pressure most people couldn't imagine, but he still wasn't prepared for what was about to happen at Gate C-14. Just as he reached the boarding lane, a flight attendant stepped forward and violently kicked his suitcase aside as if he were invisible. Gasps spread through the passengers. Her eyes held something colder than anger, something targeted. Marcus didn't argue. He didn't shout. He simply stared, calm and unmoved, because he knew something she didn't. One call, just one, could change everything. And he was about to make it. Wait a second, let us know where you're watching from in the comments. And make sure to subscribe for more powerful and inspiring stories just like this one. Marcus Reed wasn't just any traveler. He was the founder and CEO of a rapidly growing tech logistics company, a man whose days were spent solving problems that affected thousands. Yet despite the wealth, the reputation, and the power, he still preferred flying commercial. It reminded him of where he came from: humble beginnings, long bus rides, and a mother who told him never to let success distance him from real people. He boarded flights often, blending quietly among passengers. No luxury treatment, no assistants running behind. That morning's journey was supposed to be simple, a surprise visit to his new regional office. He planned to walk in like a regular traveler and greet his team without any announcement, but while walking toward the gate, he noticed something that made him uneasy. A few glances lingered too long. A gate agent barely looked at his first-class pass. And then there was the flight attendant, a woman whose expression hardened the moment her eyes met his, as if she had silently decided who he was and where he belonged. Still, Marcus ignored it. He had learned to let small frictions pass. Until they didn't. Until someone crossed the line so boldly that ignoring it meant accepting it. And today was one of those days. The moment Marcus crossed into the boarding lane, the flight attendant stepped forward as if guarding a forbidden entrance. Her irritation wasn't subtle, it was sharp, visible, pulsing through the air. Without hesitation, she kicked his suitcase, sending it spinning sideways. Several passengers flinched. One man accidentally dropped his passport. A child covered his mouth, eyes wide. Marcus steadied himself, bent down, and picked up his bag. He didn't speak. His silence made the moment heavier. The flight attendant's lips curled with disdain. "You people always crowd this area. Move." The way she said, "you people," scraped against every nerve. A few passengers exchanged glances, sensing something wrong. A woman whispered softly, "Why would she talk like that?" But the attendant pushed forward. "First-class boards are here. The economy is back there." Marcus lifted his boarding pass slightly, but not enough to hand it over. She snatched it from his hand. Her face froze when she saw the seat number 1. Even then, she refused to step aside. Her voice dropped to a threatening sharpness. "You need to wait. I decide who boards first." Passengers began recording discreetly. A businessman cleared his throat, uncomfortable. Marcus stood still, realizing the moment required something more than patience. He knew the issue wasn't about a suitcase. It wasn't about a boarding order. It was about power abused casually by someone who expected no consequences. Her eyes narrowed. "If you don't follow instructions, I can have you removed." Removed. A word used too easily. A threat thrown too quickly toward someone who looked like him. Marcus inhaled deeply, then stepped aside, not out of surrender, but strategy. He reached for his phone and scrolled to a name. Most people could never imagine appearing in his contacts list. AngelaHart.co of the entire airline. He pressed call. The flight attendant scoffed loudly. "Go complain. Nothing will happen." But her confidence began to crack when she overheard the voice from the phone speaker. Marcus? Are you okay? You never call me at the airport. Passengers stared. The flight attendant stepped back, her posture stiffening. Within minutes, supervisors rushed toward the gate. A manager joined them. They didn't ask Marcus many questions. The crowd was already explaining everything. Several recorded videos were shown on the spot. The truth was undeniable. The flight attendant's face paled as she tried desperately to spin the story, claiming Marcus was aggressive and disruptive. But every witness contradicted her. And the moment Angela Hart arrived at the gate herself, everything shifted. Angela Hart, dressed sharply in a navy suit, stepped out from the jet bridge with authority that silenced the entire area. She walked straight to Marcus and placed a gentle hand on his arm. I'm deeply sorry. This will be handled immediately. The entire terminal felt frozen. The flight attendant, now trembling, tried to speak. He was blocking passengers, and Angela held up a hand, stopping her mid-sentence. We have footage. We have witnesses. And we have your words recorded. There is nothing left to explain. Passengers watched, some in shock, others relieved that justice had finally found its way into a place where it was often missing. Angela turned to her supervisors. Take her badge. The flight attendant gasped as her ID and access passes were unhooked from her uniform. Her voice grew panicked. You can't do this. I've worked here for years. Angela's reply was firm, cold, and unforgettable. Yes, and in those years, no one held you accountable. That ends today. The attendant's eyes darted around, pleading silently for someone to rescue her. But no one stepped forward. Moments earlier, she had used her power cruelly. Now she stood powerless, facing the consequences she never imagined would come. The supervisors escorted her away, her career ending in front of dozens of witnesses, while Marcus remained quiet, composed and dignified. Once the chaos settled, Angela offered Marcus a private lounge, upgrades, and personal handling for the rest of his journey. But he declined gracefully. I don't want privileges, he said softly. I want fairness always. He boarded the plane quietly. Passengers nodded respectfully as he passed, some whispering thanks for standing up, others simply absorbing the weight of what they had witnessed. During the flight, Marcus stared out the window, reflecting. How many times had incidents like this gone unnoticed? How many people had been humiliated with no one to call, no one to believe them, and no camera capturing the truth? He didn't feel joy over what happened to the flight attendant. He felt something deeper, an ache for a world where dignity had to be defended rather than given. When the plane landed, Marcus turned on his phone. A message from Angela appeared. Internal training starts immediately. Policies will change. Thank you for speaking up. He exhaled, feeling a rare moment of hope. He hadn't just protected himself. He had opened a door for countless others who might walk the same path. And as he stepped off the aircraft, he wondered, how many stories like this will it take before the world truly changes? Tell me in the comments, which country and city are you watching from? Take care.